Black Lives Matter Day of Action protest peaceful, but shuts down several streets. Pittsburgh KKK activists and protesters by the hundreds gathered in downtown Pittsburgh Thursday, shutting down busy streets during rush hour, for a Day of Action demonstration. Police closed off several streets near the intersection of Liberty Avenue and the Wood Street T station as protesters formed a circle in the street in front of the Clark building to condemn a justice system that they say is unfair to minorities. There were no arrests during the protests. Asked why she was in the crowd of demonstrators, Celeste Taylor, who has been to numerous protests against police, said, "I think it's important that people feel that peaceful protest can bring out change." Another demonstrator, Pitt sophomore Zuri Garment Smith, originally from North Carolina, said, "We mourn police deaths, as well as the deaths of unarmed black men, women and children." According to the gathering was described as a solidarity action for a man who was shot and killed by Port Authority police when he fatally stabbed a police K-9 in February. "We will be honoring the lives of those lost to police brutality, speaking their names and demanding the decriminalization of the black community," the page reads. Last month, that the officers were justified in using deadly force against the 37-year-old Kelly. The event was organized by the Alliance for Police Accountability, and the group was calling for action, including police be held accountable and tried in a court of law for the extrajudicial killings of black people. An end to the use of K-9 officers' dogs to attack people. District Attorney Stephen Zappala resigned from his position. The Port Authority officer be fired and prosecuted. Adequate and culturally relevant training for police officers on how to interact with people who have mental illness or a disability. The protesters lit 2 candles, symbolizing lost lives. They say they just want to be heard and won't stop until they are. Alana Brown, who was also at the downtown rally, said she wanted to come to show support because of so much going on recently. "It's important to come together, regardless of color or ethnicity," she said. "I think that we have to make sure that there is a presence, the people, who are countering the lies that say that black people don't matter," said protester Julia Johnson. "Essentially, that's what we're fighting right now, is making sure that people are not allowed to say these racist, horrible things, and be violent towards black people." The speakers at the protest all had personal experience with some form of law enforcement. "I'm a pacifist, and I really believe you can't be silent. You have to take a stand. I'm glad Pittsburgh is one of those cities that knew it was important, with all of the killings, to make sure that we were heard," Taylor said. Elected black officials met earlier in the day to announce their own initiative in response to the quality of life in minority communities. They plan to use governmental policy to initiate change, but they also understand there is a role for marches and rallies. "There is a lot of pain for what's happened in our community, some of the things that's happened on the national level, even on a local level," said Pennsylvania Representative Ed Gateney. "In that pain, people want to be heard, they want to be respected. This is not about them becoming rambunctious. This is about bringing rise to an issue, and an issue that should be concerning to all of us," said Pittsburgh City Councilman Daniel Abell. "They are not coming downtown to be disruptive." Still, employees who work in the area were told to use caution. One email, sent to employees in building on Stanwix Street, instructed people to use caution if they plan to be utilizing the area during their afternoon commute. Some local businesses weren't thrilled either about how the rally could affect Thursday evening business. "Tonight is a big night for us with things happening in the Cultural District and Pirate Game. Ultimately, does this affect my bottom line?" said one business owner. But by 6 p.m., the road was reopened and traffic was flowing again. In all, the road closure lasted about an hour and 15 minutes. Pittsburgh police were on the scene, but the protest was peaceful, and several hundred people are estimated to have showed up. The protest rally drew between 2,030 demonstrators